Chapter 6. Respiratory System. Upper and Lower. Larynx. I'm silent. When I don't know what to say, when I can't think of anything, or I have too much circling my mind, I'm just struck dumb. The silence had hit me hard the second me and my sister were forced to stand in my parents' bedroom, called in from our own bedrooms. They were sat on their bed, the TV muted, then awkwardly turned off. As to them, it still must have felt intrusive. I stood awkwardly, as I had plans to do some painting that night. My mum, still sat down, told us that she was going to try really hard not to cry while she told us this. She took a breath, then told us she had cancer. She told quite a long story about how they had found it, and that they still wanted to wait until my sister had finished her exams, and that we really shouldn't be scared, as the prognosis was good. And there was a small upside. My dad occasionally chiming in to make small sarcastic comments here and there, in his mind trying to add reality to the positive spin that my mother was trying to put on the news she was telling us. I don't fully remember any of the words that left her mouth. I just remember nothing. I remember having no thoughts, that I was reaching for objects blindly in an empty room, stretching my hands desperate for something, anything, to say or to think, to take up the large space in my mind before the news could settle there and take root. But I couldn't find anything. And then my mum stopped talking and asked me and my sister if we had any questions. And that was then I remembered she was there, because she'd been deathly silent beside me, something that never usually happens. And I couldn't think of anything to say, any questions that an answer could reassure. Then we hugged. Awkwardly. 3 bodies squished together uncomfortably, but holding tight onto each other. The only noise being our breathing, as we stood, faces almost touching. I could feel my mum's hand squeezing my side, the other most likely doing the same to my sister. Time passes, and then we let go, and me and my sister leave, passing each other as we go back to our bedrooms. A return to a world that was once untouched by such terrifying news. I passed my desk, my sketchbook open, ready and primed. I did not paint that night, or that week. Instead, I went straight to my phone to Google. Late that night, me and Mum watched a movie together, and my mind was still empty. During it, I messaged my friend, telling him that I would need to drink heavily the next night, which I did, and had to return home, vomit on my jumper, and splashes on my shoes from the half hour it took to walk home while plastered. The plans were cemented, so I put my phone down and moved my sofa cushion to be up against my mum, and laid down with my head on it, feeling close to her. The film ended, and credits started rolling, and all I wanted to do was to think of something to say, but my mind was still blank. The credits played, the background music acting as a backing track, filling the silence in the room as I tried to force a question out of my mind and into my mouth. I wasn't successful. After a while, the credits ended, and we were left with the silence. The empty space became an oppressive force, pushing down onto me, the lights dotted within the ceiling doing the same. I stared directly into the one above me, the light streaming into my eyes and burning them. I stared deeper and deeper into the light, willing, daring, pushing myself to say something, anything, yet nothing felt adequate. No words, no syllables, no vowels or consonants could capture what I wanted to say, because I didn't know what I wanted or needed to say. My mouth, my throat, my lungs failed me that night, as we both sat in silence. But I wasn't alone. I was with my mum. We were together, breathing in time, knowing that for this moment, within this small bubble of silence, nothing was going to happen or change or go away. Trachea. The wine filled his mind, stained red like his lips, slurring his words, ignorance pouring from them. We are sat in my mum's cousin's garden on the warm evening, sat outside smoking a cigarette with my cousin Heather, as the conversation across the patio gets away from us. We roll our eyes as Paul, his mouth heavy and eyes wide, leads a monologue about immigrants taking his jobs and getting put in hotels with free phones. Some people nodding, others turning away to start more hushed conversations compared to his loud exclamations. We suck in smoke and tut our teeth, while swallowing our tongues as we let him drown himself in his wine, the liquid cooling his brief anger as he moves on to another topic. He wants to be divisive, not debated. You disagree, and like a child who digs his heels in further, burying his feet in the mud. You speak to him, and you both get stuck here. This way we get to move on at least. I drink my gin, aware of the privilege to push these topics away, to breathe instead of speaking, to hold my breath and cover my mouth, pushing all my fingers in and biting down, imagining chomping on my splintering bones. There were times, looking back, with the security in myself that I should have opened my throat to let the wind of words out. Sat around a barbecue in my aunt's neighbour's garden, burnt burgers dripping grease on the flimsy paper plates that threatened to blow in the wind. When a childhood friend from school's mum insists to the garden that I'm gay and just need to come out, my stomach dropping and throat closing from the rush of blood to my head, burning my cheeks and spinning my mind as I recall into silence. Do it. Just say you're gay, she says, her face moving closer and closer to my own until I can feel her hot breath on my cheek. Andrew, tell her you're not gay, my dad says, sitting still in his chair behind me. So I lie and say I'm not, feeling guilt over it, feeling like a child when they are caught stealing. I still was a child. I was 12, my eyes threatening venomous tears. I do not resent myself for lying. It wasn't the time, nor place for it. All that time has done is shifted the anger that I tortured myself with onto her, the adult that should have known better, that made me feel like I was betraying a part of myself that I hadn't yet learned to love. I would like to speak to her, through the body of my preteen self, not to come out. I did that in time, but to confront her, to take back the small bit of agency taken, forcefully surrendered to her. Bronchi. I blow smoke into my friend's face as they pull faces at me, laughing, squeeze like squirming rats in the enclosed outside space of the club smoking area. Strangers push themselves against me as they move in circles and ram through the crowd and climb the bustling stairs back inside, the floor gently pulsing as the door opens and closes, letting the music leach outwards. I take another drag of my cigarette before swapping with my friend, their vape for my fat. We each put them up to our mouths and inhale, then exhale again. The end of the vape flashing rainbow colours, and the air, rife with sweat and smoke, becomes infused with the smell of watermelon peach or kiwi apple ice, whatever it is meant to imitate. We talk in raised voices, fighting through the crowd, talking nonsense and sucking on smoke, telling each other about the weeks we had just had and the things that we are annoyed about and who is causing it, as we lean against a cold wall. I pass my lighter to a drunk woman, dressed in intense makeup and the tiniest skirt, telling her I love it in my gayest voice, and a flick of the wrist, and watch as she lights her and her friend's cigarettes and passes it back and tries to flirt with my friend, to no avail, and we go inside to dance. The feel of the music like a heartbeat, hypnotizing in anticipation as we reach ever closer. We pass through a series of doors, the bass growing louder and louder through each one, until it explodes as we enter the main room. We push ourselves to the bar and order multiple bombs, pouring the small glasses of liquid into each other and downing the result before discarding the plastic cups and moving into the club floor until we find a small gap to squeeze ourselves into, and we dance. I dance like a crazy person to the music, swinging my hair around as my friend puts their hand on their hip and dances, looking upwards, pushing forward their boobs that has their vape, phone, and a bottle of poppers are tucked against. We sniff the poppers until our vision clouds and the bass booms throughout our bodies, and I feel like a drop in the ocean, like a single square in an endless quilt of flesh, and we dance until our faces are red with heat and we are thirsty, raise our hands in a fake drinking motion, and we grasp each other's hands to worm our way back to the bar, brushing against masses of gyrating people, music to pulsing music. Toxic starts blasting as I lean on the bar and order my drink, moving my head gently to the rhythm as I make eye contact with a man standing next to me. I love Britney Spears, he says. I down my shot and look at him, replying, "Me too," and we now stand outside in the smoking area, our faces smashing against each other, our lips moving like two wet bodies against one another. He grabs the back of my head and pushes me closer until he knows that I can feel him against me, and he grabs my neck with the other, my mind blurry and docile from the drink. I only stop for a second when my friend taps me on the shoulder, blowing sweet air out of their vape, as I take a large breath and make a vow to leave as soon as this stranger pushes his body against mine and moves my head in an effort to kiss again. I can't, I say. I have to go. I'll go back to my hometown in a few hours. He turns away to focus on another man in the smoking area, hanging fresh air in the space between us as I wipe my lips and take deep breaths and prepare to leave, hoping that he doesn't find me online and sober. Laughing, my friends and I tumble out the club, smoking cigarettes and eating chips smothered in mayonnaise to make it go down easier, and hope it doesn't come up again. Muscles of breathing. On the 21st of January, at 14:36 p.m, I received the following message from my mum. Had 2 hospital appointments today. Analysis results back from bits removed during surgery. Am now officially cancer-free. No need for any further treatment. Just MRI and CT scan every 6 months for the next 3 to 5 years. Not so great news. Vacuum dressing on for the next few weeks. She is hoping it will reduce hole in wound, enough to make it worthwhile restitching. So I'm attached to the machine again, and twice weekly visits to hospital to have dressing changed. Kiss kiss. The following transcript is taken from a recording of the phone call occurred when I phoned my mum to respond to the good news. She is currently in my hometown of Biggleswade, and I am at my house as I go to university in Norwich. In 4 weeks, we have a family costume party, so that comes up also in conversation, especially as I'm yet to fully confirm my joint costume with my cousin Heather.
Mm.
I'm just very happy.
Yes, relieved.
Very relieved.
Yes. Yeah, it'd be even better still if I didn't have this bloody wound. That's driving me bonkers, but yeah, at least I know I've done. That's it then. So
Yeah.
just have a scan every 6 months for surveillance. But yeah, apart from that, all done.
It's very good. It's very good. So did you just like? So what did they say? Like.
Sorry?
So what did they say? Did you just go in and then?
Yeah. So when they took everything, the reason they did the operation was because obviously they the radiotherapy and the chemotherapy hopefully removed everything. But because my tumours were inside my fistulas, they couldn't be sure. And they said they can do scans, and the MRI scans and the CT scans, but they don't always show you everything inside. They can't see everything. So they could have not done the operation, but there was always the risk then that the cancer was still there and in there. So they did the operation, obviously removed everything, and they sent the whole lot away to be tested. And if there was still cancer in there, depending on how big it is and where it was, then I might have needed more treatment. So they knew they'd got rid of it all, but it was how much room, sort of margin of error there is around it.
Yeah.
But they came in and they said they got everything back and there was no cancer in there at all. So the radio and chemotherapy had removed everything, and because they now tested that bit, so they 100% sure that it had gone. Obviously, there's no guarantees it could go back. It could go back anywhere else in your body, but it's I'm free of cancer.
Yeah, but you've got the same risk as everyone else. Do you know what I mean now?
Same risk as everyone now, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, it's very good. I'm very happy.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's good.
It's very good.
Nothing off my mind anyhow. So that's it. Just get this bit done, and then hopefully that'll be it then.
Yes.
And the stoma is living with my the colostomy was easier than living with the Crohn's disease. So.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to talk to Heather about our costumes for that party.
Yeah, I was saying, because I got my Star Trek one.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Dad and Eloise, well, why didn't they just get the same? Because it's quite cheap. Because it's just a Star Trek jumper, then you need a space gun, and that's it, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's quite an easy one.
Yeah, it should be. I need to talk to Heather, because I think we're going as Alpha and Glinda from Wicked. So I need to...
Victor and Heidi are doing Men in Black.
Yeah, I just need to talk to Heather, I think.
Yours. Yeah, it's quite a difficult costume, though, isn't it?
What is?
Men in Black. Not Men in Wicked. The one... depending on what you're going to wear.
Yeah, well, I said on New Year's Eve that I'd go full green and the wig and everything. But I was drunk when I said that, so I don't know if that's a commitment that I'm fully prepared to live up to.
Yeah.
It'll be funny though. Just have to pay for all that costume though.
Did you save any of the other fancy dress ones from before? What did you save?
What do you mean?
No, we sorted out all the fancy dress stuff.
I don't think I saved much. Yeah, you don't think I saved much?
No. You have to have a think about it, because if you need to order something, sometimes they can take a while to come. Fancy dress stuff. You don't want to leave it to the last minute.
Well, if I do get it delivered, it might just be easier to get it delivered to Biggleswade.
Yeah.
So I don't forget anything here. Because I'm constantly leaving things everywhere.
Yes. As we know.
Got all my oil paint now on that drill. How did I forget a drill?
So your bedroom was a lot fuller when you left than before you came.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll have a think about it and say I don't mind getting you your costume. You know, let me know what you want.
Yeah, I will do.
I like the Ghostbuster ones. You get like an overall, don't you, and the inflatable black backpack. They're quite good.
Yeah.
Or you could do Scooby Doo with Heather.
Maybe. I'll talk to Heather, see what we want to do. Because if she still wants to do Wicked, I will do Wicked. I'm sort of known for committing very hard to costumes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try and get Dad and Eloise to make up their mind as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. Oh, I've got an itchy foot.
Yeah.
Oh, down. Itchy foot. Right, well, I will love you and leave you anyhow.
Yeah. Well, if in hopefully in 4 weeks you can come to the party and then up here, that'd be lovely. But like, don't push yourself too far.
Yeah. Well, I just won't know until near the time. There's no way of knowing. So
Yeah.
it will be what will be, won't it? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will see. But I've got my costume anyhow. But even if I don't go, then everyone else can, can't they? So.
Yeah.
Because if I've still got this, I won't be able to go to Caister anyhow, because the district nurses won't go all the way to Caister to
No, they won't.
change it. So it's either going to, I'll know the week before anyhow, but I'll have my costume ready. I've got my costume ready in case anyhow, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else can go if I can't they? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so have a word with Heather, and so if you want me to get your costume, I'm happy to do that.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Love you.
I love you.
I love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see you, second person.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye. Lungs. I tried my first cigarette at age 12 in a bush with 2 girls from school. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't until I was doing my A-levels and juggling one of my great loves, getting drunk with my friends, with how anxious and mentally ill I could see myself getting used to becoming, that I acquired the habit. I was feeling a lot. I was having the best times, sometimes feeling great and full of inspiration, and then I would fall into cycles of anxiety and depression, often for months at a time. It was at this point that I found the great idea of smoking rather attractive, after having been given a cigarette at a family party. Smoking wasn't something that I was unfamiliar with. Both my parents did it when I was a child. My dad stopped at some point. I'm pretty sure my mum stopped for a while too, but she went back to it rather quickly. The scent of second-hand smoke was comforting and familiar, like an old friend, so I honestly didn't mind. Also, the fact that she bought her cigarettes in bulk, so it was very easy to steal packs, which I did often. I started in secret, having a smoke out my bedroom window after my parents had gone to bed, and smoking with my friends while we had our weekly drinking sessions. By the time summer rolled around, at the end of my first year at sixth form, I'd become a bit dependent, having to smoke every time I felt stressed, which unfortunately ended up being all the time, especially at night, and at school, and after school. During the summer term at school, I would often leave the smoke on the wall outside, or in the park opposite, then be desperately hand sanitizing my hands, asking my friends to spray perfume on me, and chewing on the gum left in the pot in a bag, in an effort to not let Miss McGee know that I desperately needed to smoke in the break between my double ethics and philosophy lessons. I was only 17 years old, and smoking was something that I needed to get through a day. So much that when I was stressed at night and couldn't breathe because of an oncoming panic attack, the only thing that I wanted was to smoke. By the time I turned 18 and was legally allowed to buy my own cigarettes, I had decided to work hard at improving my mental health. And weirdly, I was quite effective, and therefore I recognised my blooming dependence on smoking. I decided to limit smoking to being a purely social thing, something that I would do with others, because I seemingly couldn't limit the amount of my own. Smoking then became part of a going out ritual for me, talking with my friends or family members at a party or a night out, the feeling of going outside and having conversations separate from what we were talking about inside. It feels like a hidden club, one that I saw my aunts and my mum and my cousins taking part in when I was a child. A club that I couldn't join in because I wasn't an adult and I wasn't a woman, and now I was an integral member in. I enjoyed escaping from the heat and sweat of a club to the feeling of the freezing night air in the smoking area, taking a break to pause and breathe, even if it was breathing in smoke. It was a sacred time. The last time I had a cigarette was 5 days ago. I had just gotten back from a night out, a return to a silent house. My head felt precariously balanced on my shoulders as I opened my curtains. I locked my door to the garden, moved my stool outside and sat upon it. I turned on my phone to see the time read 4:12, and I opened Spotify and played the song I listened to on repeat again and again over summer, a song that I'd found the night my world changed and made me feel close to my family that was sleeping what felt like half the world away from me. I lit my cigarette and allowed myself to be emotional compared to the toxic positivity that I approached nights out with, where it had been a good night, but the night was over now. It would be day soon, and I had drunk a lot. So as I took my first drag, as I felt it in my chest, as I breathed in and then out, the long line of smoke rising upwards in the sky, I let myself feel. I had taken my coat off when I got home, so I felt the deep chill of the 0-degree evening goose flesh pimpling my arms. Once I finished my cigarette, I put it out in a puddle by the drain, making sure it soaked in the water so I could put it in the bin in my room. I moved the stool in, closed the door and then the curtains, and crawled into bed in the dark. I focused on my breathing. In and out. Exhale. Inhale. Until I fell asleep. I had a bad hangover when I woke up.